Hello, dear night wanderer. Maybe right now, your heart is longing for a moment of peace. When thoughts, like uninvited guests, keep knocking on the door of your mind, one after another, and sleep continues to slip away. This is a gentle, guided sleep journey. You don't need to stay awake for any of this. You can simply let these stories carry you. And if sleep comes, that is perfectly okay. There is nothing you need to do, nothing you need to remember. Tonight, I want to share something tender with you. The teachings of the Buddha are not distant philosophies, but gentle remedies for sleepless nights. They have been passed down through 25 centuries. Like rivers that keep flowing, carrying coolness to parched souls. Tonight, we will listen together to 35 teachings, each accompanied by a small story. You do not need to remember them all. Just allow them to be like dewdrops resting within your soul, and naturally, they will slowly seep in. Try to find a truly comfortable position, perhaps letting go of the tension in your tired shoulders, and allow your breath to gently guide you into this space. A calm mind brings a peaceful night, the Buddha taught, like a still lake reflecting the full moon. When the mind is calm, sleep will come naturally. There was a young monk who always asked his teacher, "How can my mind become calm?" The teacher handed him a full bowl of water, saying, "Carry this bowl and walk around the monastery." The young monk stepped carefully, fearing the water might spill. When he returned, the teacher asked, "On your walk, did you notice the flowers blooming? Hear the birds singing?" He shook his head. "I was only focused on keeping the water from spilling." The teacher smiled. Your mind is just the same. When you cling too tightly to small concerns, you miss the peace that is present everywhere tonight. Perhaps you will try loosening the hands of the mind that are gripping everything so tightly. Allow sleep to arrive, like moonlight naturally shining upon the surface of a lake when the wind is still. And when we begin to release those small things, we will see that something miraculous happens. Letting go is not loss, but the creation of space. The Buddha taught, "The wise let go of their burdens when they are tired. They do not wait until they reach the destination." A man carried a heavy suitcase in search of happiness. When he met the Buddha, he lamented, "I'm exhausted, but I'm afraid if I set this suitcase down, I'll lose everything." The Buddha gently asked, "What is inside the suitcase?" The man opened it to reveal only pebbles. "Why do you carry stones?" "Because I think I may need them tomorrow." The Buddha smiled. "If tomorrow you need stones, there will be new stones. But tonight, you need rest. Perhaps tonight, you will try setting down one stone of worry. Just one stone. To see, in the morning, whether you truly need it or not. After setting down unnecessary burdens, we will find a very familiar companion. The breath is a gentle bridge. The Buddha taught, between waking and sleeping there is a bridge, and that bridge is mindful breathing. A young mother could not sleep because she worried about her child. The Buddha came, did not comfort her, only sat down and breathed very slowly. She watched him and naturally began to breathe along with him. After a while, the Buddha asked, "How does your breath feel now?" She replied in surprise. It is gentler. Then you have found the bridge yourself. As you lie down, perhaps you will notice your breath, not trying to change it, just gently observing it naturally, like ocean waves rising and falling. Once we have found the bridge of breath, we will realize that every space has its own purpose. The bedroom is a nestis, not a meeting room. The Buddha taught, every space has its own purpose. The bedroom door opens only to rest. A government official brought documents to his bed, tossing and turning at midnight with numbers. His wife lit a small lamp, placed it far from the bed, and said, "Let the lamp stay lit for tomorrow's work. Tonight, let's just rest." He suddenly realized he had turned his resting space into an office. Tonight, before sleeping, perhaps you will turn off some unnecessary lamps of thought, leaving only a warm space for sleep. Within that warm space, we can look back on the day that has passed with a new state of mind. Each day that closes is a complete gift. The Buddha taught, a day is like a flower. It blooms and then closes its petals. Do not grieve the fading of the flower when night arrives. A potter was always troubled by imperfect pieces. One night, he dreamed of the Buddha pointing at a cracked vase. It is this crack that allows the light to enter the next morning. He realized that each day, though imperfect, is still worth cherishing. As you prepare to sleep, perhaps you will whisper a small word of gratitude for the day that has passed, whatever it was like, because it offered you lessons of its own. And when we are grateful for the day that has passed, we become gentler with worries about tomorrow. Teaching number 6. Worry is the shadow of the future. Do not chase the shadow. The Buddha taught, one who chases their shadow will never catch it, only grow exhausted. A boy was afraid of his shadow at night, running endlessly. His grandfather lit a lamp. With light, you'll see it's just a shadow. The boy stopped running, and the shadow stopped chasing him. Worries about tomorrow are sometimes just the shadows of the future. Tonight, perhaps you will try lighting the lamp of being here. Now, in the light of presence, we will discover a special language. Silence is the first language of the universe. The Buddha taught, in silence, all things return to their true nature. A musician could not sleep because of the noise in his mind. He came to a monastery and asked, "How can I find silence?" The old monk did not answer, only poured tea. The sound of water flowing into the cup was very clear. Then silence. In that silence, the musician suddenly heard a melody from deep within his soul. Tonight, perhaps you will try listening to the silence between sounds. There, perhaps, you will hear the unique rhythm of your own soul. And when we learn the language of silence, we sense a familiar feeling. Sleep is returning home, not leaving. The Buddha taught, each time you close your eyes is a return to your original nature. A young woman far from home always felt homesick at night. A nun gave her a small pillow. Hug it as if you were hugging your younger self that night. She hugged the pillow and felt as though she were holding the child within her. As you lie down, perhaps you will sense yourself returning to a familiar inner space, where nothing needs to be done, only presence. On this journey home, we realize that everyone has their own rhythm. Every heart has its own rhythm. Do not compare. The Buddha taught, a flower blooming early or late is still beautiful. Sleep arriving quickly or slowly is still precious. Two friends both suffered from insomnia. One fell asleep in 10 minutes. The other stayed awake all night. The sleepless one blamed himself. I am so inferior. The Buddha came and pointed to the sky. The morning star and the evening star are both stars. They simply shine at different times. Tonight, perhaps you will allow yourself your own rhythm. Whether sleep comes quickly or takes time, it is your natural way. When we accept our own rhythm, our hearts open wider. Forgiveness is the warmest blanket of winter. The Buddha taught, holding anger is like clutching hot coal. It only burns your hands. Let go. The hand cools. The heart lightens. A man held resentment for 10 years, reliving it every night. One cold night, he dreamed the Buddha covered him with a blanket. When he awoke, he wrote a letter of apology to the one he resented. That night, he slept well for the first time in many years. Perhaps tonight, you will try letting go of one small resentment, just one, and feel the warmth return. And when warmth fills the heart, we can look at old stories with new eyes. Memories are paintings, not prisons. The Buddha taught, the past is like a painting on the wall. You may look at it, but you do not need to step inside. A painter kept repainting a painful memory. The more beautiful the painting became, the more he suffered. A monk came and said, the painting is beautiful, but why are you still standing inside the frame? He suddenly realized he had turned memory into his own prison. Tonight, perhaps you will view memories as paintings in the museum of your soul. You may look at them, but you don't need to dwell in them. And when we step out of old frames, we feel lighter. Teaching number 12. Emptiness is the sky for stars to appear. The Buddha taught, an empty cup can hold fresh tea. Only an empty mind can receive new peace. A person tried to fill every empty moment with work until exhaustion off. The Buddha handed him an empty cup. Om times. Emptiness itself is the most precious space. That night, for the first time in years, he allowed himself to do nothing, and sleep came naturally. Perhaps tonight, you will allow yourself a truly empty space. No thinking, no planning, simply empty. In that emptiness, we hear subtler sounds. The heartbeat is the lullaby into sleep. The Buddha taught, in silence, each heartbeat is a whisper of life. A musician worried his heartbeat was too fast. He tried everything to slow it down. The Buddha placed a hand on his chest. Do not resist your natural rhythm. Listen to it as your body's personal melody. He listened, and his heartbeat returned to normal. Tonight, perhaps you will listen to your heartbeat not as a problem to fix, but as a gentle melody lulling you to sleep. When we merge with our natural rhythm, everything becomes simpler. Simplicity is the peak of wisdom. The Buddha taught, the more you add, the more tangled it becomes. The more you let go, the clearer it is. A wealthy family decorated their bedroom excessively. so afraid of damaging things. They couldn't sleep. They asked the Buddha. He pointed to a monk's empty room. There is only a mattress and a pillow, yet sleep comes deeply here. They understood. Sometimes less is more. Tonight before sleeping, perhaps you will clear your mind of unnecessary decorations, worries, calculations, plans, leaving a simple space for sleep. In that simplicity, we find a simple truth. When tired, rest. That is natural law. The Buddha taught, trees shed leaves when winter comes. Humans rest when weary. A farmer kept harvesting even after dark. He fell and blamed himself. If only I had stopped earlier, the Buddha passed by, picked up a yellow leaf. This leaf knows when to fall, so the tree can endure the winter. When you feel tired, perhaps you will remember the yellow leaf and allow yourself to fall into sleep naturally, without guilt. And when we learn to fall at the right time, we discover something miraculous. In surrender, there is strength. The Buddha taught, willow bends in the storm, oak breaks. Softness can be stronger than rigidity. A warrior slept with clenched muscles and woke more exhausted. His master placed a stone in his hand. Clench it all night in the morning. His hand was numb. Now release it, and notice how that feels. When he let go, a strange lightness appeared. Tonight, perhaps you will let go of every muscle in your body. Slowly, gently, like willow branches releasing in the wind. There is something beautiful when we begin to love ourselves. Loving yourself is not selfish. The Buddha taught, one who cannot love themselves, how can they love others? A mother cared for her child and forgot to sleep, becoming exhausted. The child cried, "Mom, why don't you rest?" She hugged the child. "I'm afraid I won't care for you enough." The child innocently said, "But when you're tired, it makes me sad too, Mom." She realized loving herself was also loving her child. Tonight, perhaps you will treat yourself like a close friend who is tired, with gentleness and understanding. When we begin to love ourselves, everything becomes lighter. A small light is enough to dispel darkness. The Buddha taught, a small candle can light a whole dark room. A small positive thought can brighten a long night. A person feared darkness and lit many candles every night. One night only one remained, and he felt afraid. Then he realized one single candle was enough to light the entire room. Light matters more than quantity. Tonight, perhaps you will find one small candle in your heart, a good memory, a gratitude, a small hope, and let it glow through the night. In that light, we realize we are supported. The bed is supporting you. The Buddha taught, be grateful for what is supporting you right now. A person always complained about a hard bed. One night during a blackout when the power went out, he slept on the cold floor. The next morning, returning to the bed, it felt incredibly soft. He realized he hadn't appreciated what was right there. As you lie down tonight, perhaps you will feel the support of the bed, the pillow, and feel gratitude for having a place to rest. When we are grateful for small things, we open ourselves to more. Night rain is also a lullaby. The Buddha taught, Everything in the universe has its own voice. Listen, and you will hear the universe singing. A girl hated the sound of rain because it woke her. One night, instead of resisting, she listened. Rain on the roof, on leaves, slowly transformed into a gentle melody. Tonight, if there is rain, wind, or any sound, perhaps you will listen as nature's lullaby. In that tenderness, we discover the beauty of simplicity. Just breathe. Everything will be okay. The Buddha taught, when things are tangled, return to the breath. It is always there, steady and reliable. A former soldier was haunted by gunfire memories. Every night, his heart raced, hands trembled. A monk taught him, when fear comes, do not resist. Just breathe and say, "Ah, it's you again. Come, let's breathe together." Gradually, fear became a companion he no longer feared. If anxiety comes late at night, perhaps you will welcome it like a guest, and with it, breathe gently. From the simplicity of breath, we learn trust. The body knows how to heal itself. The Buddha taught, just as wounds heal with rest, the soul heals when allowed to let go. A physician healed others, but suffered insomnia himself. One night, he observed a cut on his hand healing naturally. He realized, the body has a miraculous ability to heal when given proper rest. Tonight, perhaps you will trust that your body and mind know how to heal during sleep, if you give them the chance. When we trust nature, we feel part of something greater. You are part of a universe at rest. The Buddha taught, when you sleep, the universe rests within you. An astronomer watched stars at night and wondered, when I sleep, do the stars sleep? One night, he lay down and felt, he too was a small star in the universe, shining sometimes, resting sometimes. The feeling was peaceful. Tonight, as you lie down, perhaps you will feel yourself as part of a resting universe, not losing time, but joining a natural rhythm. From simplicity, we learn to trust the flow of life. The river is never in a hurry. It flows. The Buddha taught, a river flows fast at times, slow at times, still at times. It is always a river. A man rowed upstream all night, exhausting himself without moving forward. At dawn, he released the oars and let the boat drift. It reached the shore without effort. Perhaps tonight, you will release the oars of trying to sleep, letting sleep find its way to you. When we allow the river to flow naturally, we look to the sky and see a similar lesson in the clouds. Teaching number 25. Clouds come and go, so does the mind. The Buddha taught, do not cling to any cloud, white or dark. All will pass. A child watched clouds and felt sad when a rabbit-shaped cloud dissolved. His grandmother pointed, but look, a cloud shaped like a flower is forming. The child smiled. Then no need to be sad. New clouds always come. If a sad thought arises, perhaps you will view it as a cloud drifting across the sky of the mind, not holding, not pushing away. And if clouds can come and go so gently, Perhaps we too can carry that gentleness into sleep. A gentle smile is the doorway to sleep. The Buddha taught, a smile is like dawn light, dissolving night dew. Smile, even within, and the night softens. A man frowned in his sleep and woke exhausted. His wife placed a small mirror by the bed. Try smiling before sleeping. It felt awkward at first, but that smile gradually softened both his face and his mind. Before closing your eyes tonight, maybe try a gentle smile, for no particular reason at all. In the end, all these gentle things lead us to a simple, profound truth. Every night has a dawn waiting. The Buddha taught, after the longest night, the sun still rises. After the most restless night, sleep still comes. An old farmer lost sleep worrying about drought. One night, listening to the insects, he realized dawn would come whether he slept or stayed awake. He sighed, closed his eyes, and woke to find morning had arrived. However tonight is, perhaps you will remember, dawn is always waiting at the end of the night. Sometimes that simple trust is enough to soften the heart. Trusting time's flow, we enter the final teachings of wakefulness in sleep. Sleep is also a form of awareness. The Buddha taught, there is awareness in action and awareness in surrender. A meditator tried to stay aware while sitting, but saw sleep as failure. His teacher asked, do you see that tree? By day, it is aware of sunlight. By night, it is aware in darkness. Both states are forms of awareness. Tonight, perhaps you will view sleep not as shutting off, but as another form of awareness, awareness in rest. Dreams are the language of the subconscious. The Buddha taught, like underground rivers, the subconscious speaks through dreams. A writer feared nightmares and could not sleep. The Buddha told him, when a nightmare comes, ask it, what have you come to teach me? That night, when a monster appeared in his dream, he gathered courage and asked. The monster became a crying child, his childhood fear. If dreams come tonight, perhaps you will receive them as messages from deep within, without judgment, only listening. The distance between worlds is not as far as we imagine. The distance between waking and sleeping is just a thought. The Buddha taught, a river separates shores, but a boat crosses. Thought separates waking and sleep, but breath connects them. A person kept thinking, I must sleep now, and stayed awake. One night, he shifted his thought to, I can simply relax. Instead of forcing sleep, he relaxed, and sleep slipped in without him even noticing. Perhaps tonight, instead of thinking, I must sleep, you will think, I can relax. Small changes in thought can make big differences. Crossing that distance, we learn to care for every small part of ourselves. Every cell deserves rest. The Buddha taught, from hair to heel, every part of you deserves love and rest. A dancer pushed her body relentlessly and suffered pain at night. One evening, she seemed to hear a whisper from within, let me rest too. She realized it was her legs speaking. That night, she gently attended to each part of her body as if comforting a weary friend. As you lie down, perhaps you will thank each part of your body for its work today and allow true rest. Caring for every cell, we find ourselves in a special space. Darkness is not frightening, it is the space of potential. The Buddha taught, in darkness, seeds sprout. In deep night, the soul is reborn. A child feared darkness, and his mother gave him a bean. Let's leave it in the dark room overnight. In the morning, the bean sprouted. The child understood. Darkness isn't something to fear. It's where wonderful things can begin. Tonight, perhaps you will see darkness not as an enemy, but as fertile space for healing and renewal. Within that space lies a belief many of us need to revisit. Sleep time does not take this, it gives back. The Buddha taught, to begrudge sleep is like begrudging water for a tree. Without watering, how can it live? A businessman worked late, thinking sleep wasted time, until exhaustion sent him to hospital. There, he finally understood. Sleep doesn't steal work time. It restores the health needed to work well. If you feel you must stay awake to work, perhaps remember, 1 good hour of sleep can give you 3 hours of effective work. Changing this belief, we discover unexpected warmth. You are being held by the universe. The Buddha taught, when you lie down, the universe is holding you in its arms. A lonely girl hugged her pillow to sleep. One night, she imagined the earth holding her, the air gently touching her, the darkness keeping her safe. Wrapped in that warmth, she drifted into sleep, wearing a soft smile. Tonight, as you lie down, perhaps you will feel held by the bed, the room, and the universe itself. You are not alone. Finally, we arrive at the last teaching, the one that holds all others. Just be present, and sleep will come. The Buddha taught, when you stop seeking, you will find. When you stop trying to sleep, you will sleep. A man searched everywhere for treasure, exhausted and empty-handed. In his later years, sitting quietly in his garden, he finally realized the true treasure was the peace of this very moment. That night, he did not try to sleep, only watched the moon, and sleep arrived as gently as the rising moon. After all these teachings, perhaps the only thing left is presence. Presence with this breath, presence with this body, presence with this moment. And then, everything will happen naturally. Perhaps now, you feel as though you have walked through a quiet garden with 35 different flowers. Each flower carries its own message, its own fragrance. Just as when you enter a real garden, you don't need to pick every single flower. Simply pause by the one you resonate with most. Look at it, and let its scent soak into your soul. Sleep is the same. It comes not because we try to gather every teaching, but because we allow ourselves to pause, breathe steadily, and simply receive. Before we move to the final practice, I invite you to spend 1 truly silent minute. Just sit there, or lie there, and feel the air around you. There is nothing to do. Just be present. And now, I would like to share a small ritual you may try tonight. Once you are in bed, first, Gently scan your entire body from head to toe, like moonlight moving slowly across a lake. Simply observe, without judgment. Choose one of the 35 teachings that feels most needed tonight. No need to remember it exactly, only its essence. Whisper to yourself, "All right, it's time to rest." Then, let everything be as it is. You may try this ritual, or choose not to. What matters is that you allow yourself the choice. Whisper to yourself, "All right, it is time to rest." And let everything be natural. You may try this ritual, or choose not to. What matters is that you allow yourself the choice. You can click subscribe and the little bell to continue this journey with me. Now, I want to send you a very gentle wish. May you have a truly restful night. Whether sleep comes deeply or lightly, be gentle with yourself. For each night is a new page, each breath a fresh beginning. And remember, you are not alone on the journey of reclaiming peaceful sleep. Many others are journeying with you, even through this small screen.